For life.
Yeah. Bullet cast. What's going on? Stacy. This elite podcast in here. Ain't nobody better. Look. Yeah. Listen to us every time we live in the side. When you turn it on, it's just defining the mind. If you feel it, our opinions is great. When everything we moving now in the state.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know the name, you know the voice. The microphone Messiah is back with Brandon Tanguma and Poison Scarlet. Episode 322, a new endeavor. As we talk about a lot that has happened post WrestleMania. Before we get to that, guys, how you doing?
It's only been 4 days since WrestleMania, and so much has happened.
So much has gone down. Brandon, what's up,
Right.
brother?
I'm doing fantastic, still. Me and Roman just out here chilling on the mountaintop.
Stop.
I will dethrone you one day.
Oh. That should be the tribal queen.
I'm the tribal cheese.
The tribal cheat. All right.
Put 'em up.
Let's get into all the news. Unfortunately, Bushwhacker Butch has passed away. One half of obviously the Bushwhackers legendary tag team. They were the sheep herders over in New Zealand, very violent. Then they came over to WWE and became a comedy act and one of the most memorable acts in WWE history. It's unfortunate, man. R.I.P. to Bushwhacker Butch.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Bushwhacker Butch. I remember walking around with my dad doing the Bushwhacker walk, and even to this day we still do it, and I'm so sad.
No, I'm glad he got to live to go into the Hall of Fame, though.
Yeah.
And most people don't get that opportunity. So, the T's and P's going out to his friends and family. All right, the biggest news in a very long time: WWE has sold to Endeavor. They've merging with UFC. WWE was sold for $9.3 billion. Vince bought it from his dad for $1 million 40 plus years ago. Brandon, do you have the details of this deal?
Of course I do, Philip.
Read them.
So, WWE issued a press release Monday, confirmed the news coming out from Sunday's report from CNBC that Endeavor, the parent company of the UFC, is purchasing WWE, and they are going to merge WWE and UFC into one conglomerate. Endeavor will control 51% of the stock, while WWE shareholders will then take 49% of the stock, because UFC not a publicly traded company, but now because of the whole Endeavor, the Endeavor of Endeavor, now they're going to be one big happy family. And the new company hasn't been named yet officially, but Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel, it will be led by him. Vince McMahon returned in January and blah, blah, blah. So we don't know the full-fledged details, but basically UFC, WWE are going to be combined into one super sports / entertainment conglomerate. And we don't know, Vince, there's a lot of speculation right now about what's going on with Vince. I just want to say, slow your roll. We don't know what's going on yet, because people are blaming Vince for Raw, which is true. I think Vince did have a lot of power, and I think it was more him flexing that power. I am still holding out some optimism that this was kind of like a one-off, and Vince will kind of go back into his cave. But he'll come out every now and then and mess some things up.
We don't know that for sure. I talk about these things, like I need to see this man with the headset on. I need to see photos and pictures of him with the headset on conducting this stuff for me to believe it. Or we're not just going to keep going with the rumor and innuendo and all that other stuff. That's not the kind of podcast we are. If you want to listen to that garbage, go listen to the Wrestling Observer. Now listen. This is a big deal. Then we've heard the rumors of the WWE deal for quite some time. Vince, he did the interview. He was asked about creative, and he said yes and no. So we don't know what that means. We're gonna have to wait and see. He was obviously asked about the allegations, and he said this was gonna, happen regardless of allegations or not. And people asked about how soon it happened. Vince said this is the right time. It's crazy to think. I mean, this guy, mortgaged his house, basically sold everything he owned to buy this company from his father. And then 40 plus years later, $9.3 billion he sells it. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Love it though. Fantastic. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait to see. You know, we've heard that Nick Khan will still be the president of WWE. Triple H will still be the chief content creator and officer, whatever. And you know, Vince will be the executive chairman of the board. I think he will have the sole share or the most shares again. I was reading. Katie, what are your thoughts? What are your teas?
You know, I'm not really sure what to think about it quite yet. I'm hoping that this ends up being a good move for WWE. I mean, it's great for Vince. Look at how much he made, but time will tell. I don't really have a whole lot of concrete thoughts right now.
So
Right.
as a UFC WWE fan, I'm intrigued to see what they do, because they definitely could do some sort of thing where they run like a big UFC pay-per-view on a Saturday and then run a big UFC pay-per-view on a Sunday in the same town and try to, you know, do something like that. So that kind of intrigues me. But also, so when Endeavor bought UFC, like the day-to-day and kind of, you know, the creative, if you want to call it that, didn't really change. But like the business model and going to the ESPN and then doing like the ESPN pay-per-views within ESPN Plus and kind of the business strategy, that I think is going to be what's going to change in WWE. We saw it on WrestleMania where WWE and Nick Khan were able to just get so much money from advertisers and kind of get every last dollar out of WrestleMania. I think we're going to get that again. I don't know what that means in terms of the cock. I think they're going to keep the cock around for now, but whether they change it over to put WWE Network on ESPN Plus and kind of have UFC and WWE under one conglomerate, under one streaming service, so they make their own streaming service or whatever. I am afraid we are going to get back to wrestling pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-views again.
That was, you know, the big thing that they were saying, and then after a couple of days, those rumors have kind of been shot down.
Well, for now,
I mean, not
that's
officially.
Because they're in a contract with Peacock and NBC. They can't change anything right now. But once that deal is up, they could always leave and do something else.
I don't.
Because UFC is in debt right now, and so now WWE is taking on that debt. So now they need to, you know, make up for all that.
Well, Endeavor took on that debt and then bought WWE.
It wouldn't
exactly. We're not a business podcast, but damn it, we're gonna pretend like we are.
It wouldn't make sense for them to do so, you know. I mean, especially with when's the Peacock deal up? Do we know? Peacock.
I'll check on the cock. Let me
couple mil for the library of World Wrestling Entertainment. So I don't know. No idea. But it's an exciting time. It really is, you know. It's a changing of the guard. Do you know?
WWE's streaming deal with NBC Universal's Peacock expires in 2026.
Okay, so we have a couple years.
And the UFC's deal with ESPN Plus ends in 2025.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have what, 3 years? We have 3 years, guys. Let's calm down.
Well, I also want to mention the fact that let's talk about viewership. They get a lot of viewership because they do the free streaming through Peacock. Do you think their viewership will go down if they start asking people to pay for pay-per-views again?
I think that is a possibility, but honestly, I mean, this is a couple years away, but I think they'll renew the Peacock deal, or they might just go back to having their own WWE networkers, or a platform or the Endeavor Network where you can watch UFC and WWE. You know,
I mean, I could see that happening. Also, let's talk about the fact that, you know, with UFC being on ESPN Plus is also part of the package deal that comes with Disney Plus, Hulu, National Geographic.
Yeah.
So would that mean if they decided to go the ESPN Plus route, would that mean that WWE is now under the Disney umbrella if Endeavor signs a contract with them?
I mean,
No, and also with the ESPN UFC deal, I'm not an expert on it, but basically like UFC and ESPN kind of can dictate the pricing and everything.
yeah.
And so like ESPN is really like, excuse my language, fucking over like the UFC fans and like charging them these exorbitant prices. I wouldn't be shocked if they do the same with WWE. Let's just say they go to ESPN Plus and then they do like the big four, maybe you throw in the Money in the Bank 2, end up being like a $50-$60 pay-per-view.
Oof.
And in terms of like the math at all, this is like why they went to the network to begin with, is just the math of it. Can you get what's better, 100,000 people paying $50 a month, or $50, every once in a while or whatever, or you get 1 million plus people paying $10 a month, which ends up being $120 a year for however long they're a part of the thing.
I don't know, man, because like with like we people will call Vince, senile and all these things because of the creative. A very smart businessman, so he will bring something to the table that I think could work for everyone. I mean, he was kind of ahead of his time with the network and the way that worked, and that's basically the world we're living in now. And he started that 10 years ago. Apparently, he was talking about doing this kind of stuff in the early 90s and late 80s. I don't know, but with the whole Peacock thing, WWE going to Peacock has increased their subscription substantially. Substantially. There we go. That's the word. I mean, like viewership has gone up on their products in general. I mean, people are searching Peacock, and they'll find other things to watch, and it's gotten them a boost. And plus, with the whole model, like if you have Xfinity, it's $5 compared to whatever the regular price is. And
as much as I rag on the cock and I hate how their layout for the WWE is, it's a great deal for like watching television and movies and stuff. Like the new, like the new Batista movie, Knock at the Cabin or whatever. Like that dropped a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I'm basically getting that for I'm paying for the WWE pay-per-views, but I get all that other stuff along with it.
Absolutely.
And how could you forget about the great show La Casa de los Famosos?
I mean, they have some great stuff. I mean, go on Peacock, go watch the George Lopez show, King of Queens, Golden Girls. Go watch.
Oh man, the Golden Girls.
Of course. How does the theme song go? Thank you for being a friend. No, nobody else. No, really, nobody.
Something and back again or something.
My heart is true. You're a friend and a confidant, right? Yeah.
It's one.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
It's one of those shows that my mom will have it on the Hallmark Channel. I'll switch it to watch something on the DVR. 2 hours later, the Golden Girls will be on because it's like 10 o'clock at night.
Yes, sir. You love to see it.
The Golden
Man,
Girls.
that brings me back to like Nick at Night.
Shout out Nick at Night.
George Lopez loud ass song playing, wake you up.
Yes, I can't do nothing. Love it. Love all of it. People don't talk about this Endeavor deal. Enzo was talking about it. Maybe he's trying to come back. We don't know. A lot of positive things Enzo was saying about this. Saw him at WrestleCon. My guy's dripped out.
I haven't seen him since he tried to take over SummerSlam all those years ago and got escorted out.
Yes. Oh, we're going to move on from that. Speaking of WrestleCon, let's talk about the drama that went down at WrestleCon. So, Giselle Shaw, she is a performer at Impact Wrestling. She is a transgender performer. So apparently, day one of WrestleCon, I didn't get to witness this or see this. I think it happened before doors open, maybe. Rick Steiner was yelling at her that you're a man, all this other stuff. And we don't know what was going on with Rick. Maybe he was drinking, maybe he wasn't, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, he was removed from WrestleCon. And so I go on day 2, and you see Scott Steiner just sitting there with a big-ass sign that says The Steiner Brothers, a picture of him and Rick from back in the day. I'm like, oh, man, that must be awkward. Come on, Rick. I mean,
I will be honest, this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Dude, you're in your 60s.
Really?
Bro. What are you doing?
This was all over social media. It was on Twitter.
When was this? When was this?
Day
this
one.
This is
Saturday?
day 1 of WrestleCon, which was
Friday.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was too busy doing a 3.5 hour wrestling and baseball preview show.
Jesus. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, Rick,
I have thoughts.
You're in your 60s, bro. Dude, the internet has been having a field day with this.
How about crazy thought for all those people who don't like trans people? Why don't you just stay in your own fucking lane? And why do you care what people are doing?
That too.
Exactly.
But people, when Braun Breaker turned heel on Tuesday, they were like, "Oh, his dad turned heel at WrestleCon." I'm like, y'all need to chill. This
long-term storytelling.
let's not do that.
Short-term storytelling, that didn't take no time at all.
Hey, maybe he was supposed to debut on Monday, and that all got scrapped. You never know.
But it just, I just don't understand why people are so hateful, especially when it's something that doesn't even relate to them. Like, it doesn't affect them. Someone being trans does not affect you personally. So why do you feel the need to go out of your way to spread hate towards someone who is different than you?
You know what? That's actually really good. Like I'd love to like sit down with somebody who has the same beliefs as like a Rick Steiner or somebody. Be like, "Bro, like what do you get out of this? Like no, like for real, like what do you get out of saying these things? Like I want to know. I want like do you feel better about yourself? Like do you get some kind of high off of it? Like what's going on?
What makes you think that you are going to change the world with your opinion that, quite frankly, a lot of other people do not agree with?
It's just it's
And
just
why do you feel the need to share your opinion at a public event where you are there to make money and see your fans? This person is separate than you. There's no reason for you to even interact with this person if you don't have to, or if you don't like them.
yeah. I don't I don't know.
It's And even if he was drinking, that's not like obviously that is not an excuse.
It's not an excuse, but they
A
do
drunk man's words is a sober man's thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, they do say that. That's
Yes.
moving on to some other unpleasant news.
If anybody wants to talk about that more with me, feel free to DM me at Poison Scarlet because I have thoughts, y'all.
She has thoughts. She has thoughts.
No, I saw this on Twitter.
Yeah. So there's some turmoil within the Guerrero family. Vicky Guerrero's daughter, not Shawl, but Sherilyn, I think that's her name. Right? Right? Right?
Sherilyn?
Cheryl, something like that. Yeah. She has spoken out about misconduct and that has gone on with her stepfather, Vicky Guerrero's husband, that she experienced for years. And Vicky Guerrero took to social media and said that I tried to get you help, I tried to talk to you about it like an adult. You want to play these games, okay? Blah blah blah. And Vicky just unleashed on her on social media. Then Shaw Guerrero put out a statement, saying that she's been trying to play peacemaker with this whole ordeal, and she wants it's just a lot that's been going on here with this family. I'll read a little bit of Shaw's statement. She says, "I am deeply saddened at the state of my family, or at the state my family's been in for years. What my sister stated happened on the cruise was true." Oh, I haven't read the statement yet.
Wow.
She did get SAD'd by my stepfather. Uh, it's never okay. She has every right to talk about it. Was it rape? No, but it was unwanted touching, which is absolutely unacceptable and traumatizing. The incident tore an even deeper wedge into our family than what was there before. My mother and sister have had a deeply tumultuous relationship for years. Same with my sister and I. After this incident on the cruise, we all went into various forms of therapy in order to heal. And then she just goes on to talk about some more. That's unfortunate. Jesus. So I don't know what's going on there with the Guerreros. Shaw's saying it's true. I guess Vicky doesn't want to believe it. God.
I mean, it's difficult. It's something that's hard to swallow. For you to hear accusations of that sort against someone that you are tied to, especially if it's coming from your own family.
Yeah.
And I can't personally say that I know what Vicky herself is going through. but I'm sure she's probably feeling a lot of different feelings, and maybe she's just not taking it out the right way. I believe in the statements that have been made, and I hope that they find clarity and peace in some way, shape, or form. Sexual assault is rough and it's a hard topic to talk about. I have a lot of thoughts about it too.
Yeah,
Again,
look, it's unfortunate that that happened to her. I hope she gets the help that she needs. I hope she goes through whatever form of therapy or whatever healing, or if a healing process can be done, if that makes sense. You know, um, I don't know what's gonna happen. That's not a good look for Vicky. She's been removed from the roster page in AEW. I mean,
yep,
she's gonna be leaving anyway, so this
yeah,
this
but
kind of
this
sours
accelerates it and
this kind of
sours it
sours on anything else that she's gonna do. I don't think she's gonna be doing AEW heels for the remainder of her tenure in AEW. Um,
unlikely.
and people have come to really like Vicky over the last like few years and kind of respected her work that she did in WWE for the decade that she was there. So that's unfortunate. Brandon, do you have any thoughts?
No, I mean, it's definitely a crazy, wild situation. I don't really know, the ins and outs, obviously. So
Yeah.
hopefully everybody, figures it out and they
Yes.
can move past this.
Moving on from that, inside the ring, Dante Martin broke his ankle at Ring of Honor, a Supercard of Honor, on Friday, March 31st. Oh God. Oh man, have you guys seen this?
It's terrible. It's very Joe Theismann, Alex Smith-esque, very gruesome. Sid, to be like a wrestling term, it's bad. It sucks because I just feel like the Martin, top flight tag team. It's like when one's healthy, the other one's injured, and when one comes back, the other one gets hurt. It's just
Yeah, because like
it's crazy.
they have that kind of run. Like Dante was hurt, so they stepped away. Then what's his brother's name?
Dante and Darius.
Yeah, then Darius got hurt and Dante had like a little singles run. And then Darius came back and then they were pushing and moving. And like his ankle turned all the way around, brother. Like, like I feel for him. Like that sucks. That really does. Katie, have you seen this? She
Katie
here.
has personally she has stepped away.
Katie has personally stepped away. We're gonna okay, we're gonna move on from that. We're gonna get some you wanna talk some fan mail, brother?
I guess you're gonna read it anyways.
I I am. I know, I am. Uh what you call it? In Brightest Day X.
Mr. X.
You see he got his Hall of Fame ring? Did you see that?
I mean, shout out Mr. X.
Man,
It's about damn time.
yeah. Hey.
Happy birthday. I know his birthday was, I believe, over the weekend.
Oh my god, happy belated birthday to Mr. X. Happy birthday to the Hall of Famer.
Happy birthday, Mr. X.
Yes. Katie, any thoughts on Dante Martin and his broken ankle before we move on?
T's and P's.
Have you seen it?
No.
Good.
It like I felt it turned all the way around. It was yeah.
Ah.
As a soggy ankle survivor, I will say this. I hope he makes a speedy recovery. Because that was not good. All right, Mr. X says main concern with Cody losing is who else is there to take down Roman? If it's still Cody, won't it seem kind of hollow now? It possibly won't have the same impact that it should have if he had won at Mania. We'll talk about that. Will AEW be able to sell out a stadium like Wembley? And is there now more pressure on them to deliver given how grandiose this show will be? And is Bayley really on her way out of WWE? Could she follow Mercedes' footsteps in Japan? I don't think Bayley's going to leave WWE. That I don't see that happening.
I think the Bayley stuff is probably a little bit blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
But, if she were to go, we get what was her name? Was it Daphne Rose or whatever?
Davina Rose.
Yeah, on the indie scenes, I would love to see what she does, but a lot of the backstage stuff with Bayley, with Vince, I think is overblown right now. We have to wait and see.
We don't know what's going on there. Let's talk about the Raw after Mania real quick. I was there for that.
Oh, good job. Good
Yeah,
job.
I was there for the Raw after Mania. Me and Big Toko. Shout out Juice.
Shout out.
Yes. So Triple H kicks it off with a promo. Says we're not going anywhere. Then he welcomes Roman Reigns, and Roman's out there with Solo and the Wise Man, and Cody comes out there. And so we're gonna lead to a tag match. Cody needs a partner. Brock Lesnar shows up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch Brock Lesnar wrestle on Raw. That's crazy.
First time in 22 years, I think, 21 years.
Yeah, that was wild.
Since a match with Tommy Dreamer, I believe.
Yes. Well, look at you.
Definitely took that out of my own brain. Did not see that on Twitter.
Oh, look at you. I'm proud of you. Yeah, so the Raw after Mania was a nice little crowd. That boy was
I
actually
feel as though it was a good crowd. I feel like the WrestleMania night after WrestleMania crowds aren't as crazy as they used to be.
I
think like ever since AEW came around, like those type of fans aren't going to the Raw after WrestleMania, which isn't a bad thing.
I think that the people that go to WrestleMania both nights and then also go to Raw, they're just tired. Like that's a lot.
How could you be tired?
Especially at a West Coast show where you got to get there at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's not
bad. If it's your vacation and you're not working, you can recover because not a lot of stuff going on Monday. But if you're like a local and you like went to work on Monday and then went to Raw again, like shout out to you.
Oh no, you
not only that, but like usually people that are going to like WrestleMania week, they're seeing indie shows, they're going to WrestleCon, they're doing all the fan stuff, and then on top of that, they're going to WrestleMania night 1, they're going to WrestleMania night 2, and then they wake up and they do it all over again for Raw.
Don't forget Stand and Deliver.
That was the same day. Stand and Deliver.
Which before we get really get into Raw, hey, shout out Carmelo Hayes. I watched his stuff on the Indies when he was Christian Casanova. To see him have that moment and win the title, kudos to him. Indy Hartwell, I've been a fan of hers for a little bit.
2 Australian women won big championships same day.
Yes, congrats to Indy. I'm glad she got that moment. Now going into Raw, it was a nice crowd. It wasn't too crazy. There were people playing with a beach ball. So did you guys hear the asshole chants?
No.
Okay. Yeah, there were people playing with a beach ball during the Damage Control, Liv, and Raquel match.
Jeez. Yeah. That's so classless.
Yeah, so there was that. Thoughts on the Roman Cody segment?
I thought it was good. I think they're in a tough situation coming out of WrestleMania to kind of move past it. But as I said, I think Mr. X, I'm kind of with Mr. X is like, I don't know if you can top what Cody was at WrestleMania, but there's still a story that you can tell. And I think you can still, get him to that point to get him to win and be a champion. But either which way you look at it, if you think it's not a good idea for Cody to win or whatever, we still have a possible Roman Reigns face turn that I think we can, look into in this current character. So whether you give it to Cody, he doesn't pan out, you can always do Roman Reigns as a face, or, we hold on Roman with the title and then he turns face with the championship. But I thought it was good in the dynamic and Brock coming out. And I think there might've been like, they were advertising that there was going to be a mystery opponent. I didn't see that, but even in the moment I was like, oh, it'd be cool. Like, Brock Lesnar, because I didn't think about the actual stipulation because I don't remember that, but just in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, he doesn't care about winning another championship, so why does it be Brock? And then that's who it was.
I was not expecting Brock for sure. I was thinking Sheamus, I was thinking Drew, I was thinking...
Well, it was going to be Shane McMahon, but they had to do some last minute changes.
No. No.
You should have heard that place when his music hit. I was like, oh. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
In regards to the segment, you could feel the heat coming out of Cody's words. He was fired up and he was upset. And that emotion, like, yeah.
I want to talk about this. Shout out Alfred from Pro Wrestling Bits. He he put out a video stating how Cody Rhodes has been booked like a black wrestler in WWE and how he shouldn't have to wait his turn like the others. He talked about how Kofi had to wait, how Big E and Lashley had to wait. And he really feels like this. We were talking about this at the bar. These are this man's real thoughts.
He's not wrong. I mean, when you think about it, look at Kofi. Kofi was 12 years. Biggie was 9 years.
Hold on. The best part of it, he was like, no, Cody is a black man. He has a neck tattoo. That was his argument. I love Alfred. We need to have him on the show because he's great. But do you have any more thoughts about this, Katie?
I mean, I am a pasty ass cracker white chick. I think I just broke Phil.
Brandon, do you have any thoughts? She said, she said the C word on the show. Oh, Jesus.
Well, I mean, the whole Cody Rhodes being black is a loaded topic that I don't think we should. I'm not ready to dive into right now. But
yeah.
after your black TikTok comments, nah, come on, bro.
I mean,
Cody ended slavery. He ended racism. Come on.
I mean, he did. I mean, shout out. He beat Anthony Ogogo, and then Star Spangled Banner, and it's a beautiful moment in wrestling in human history.
Cody is as African American as they come. You know, at the cookout, we let him make the potato salad.
Damn,
that's high praise.
How much more until he gets to the grill? I mean, he's got to do some more things to get to the grill, but
hey, we'll let him make the peach cobbler. I think that's next.
Maybe the mac and cheese after that.
Whew, that's an important side. Actually, I think if the mac and cheese is hitting, then he gets to the grill.
Ooh, okay.
That's yeah. But seriously, what did you guys think of the video that Alfred put out though?
I thought it was very well done. I agree with points. I agree that Cody should not have to wait his turn, considering the amount of hype they built with him leading up to WrestleMania.
Right.
With that said,
yes.
With that said, we can't change the fact that what's done is done. Yes. And even though some of us really wish that it hadn't happened that way, now we have to rebuild.
Did you guys see the photo I posted on the Bulletcast feed? It's Cody sitting down, like looking dismayed, and it's a silhouette of him smashing that throne.
Yep, saw that.
So pictures really do speak 1,000 words, don't they?
They do.
Brandon,
pictures speak an infinite amount of words.
Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Pro Wrestling Bits bit on Cody?
There's some points that I agree with in terms of like the Booker T stuff and some of the other black wrestlers who did not get their chance when possibly they should have. But as I said, Cody possibly could have won at WrestleMania, but we can't just ignore that Roman Reigns is in a generational run, possibly the best run of all time right now, and like that should not be ignored. Like, I know all the focus is on Cody, but Roman continuing on this run and continuing on this story, I do believe there's still some things to talk about, and there's some things that they can flesh out and tell a good story. So yeah, I don't know about that. And what we're also I also was just gonna bring up, we're gonna ignore The Rock getting his chance in 3 years, and then Bobby Lashley, getting his shot. Didn't win a world championship right away, but he was Bobby Lashley, for whatever reason, I don't know why. Young Brandon loved himself some Bobby Lashley back in the day.
Oh, really?
He was my favorite wrestler for God knows what reason.
Because he was a big meaty man slapping meat.
Yeah, I love me some big meaty men slapping meat. Before
I sent you that shirt. Are you gonna buy it? I sent you what it looks like. Are you gonna buy that?
Maybe.
We should all buy them. Yes. Katie, you love big meaty men slapping meat, don't you? Oh, this is something. This podcast is interesting. No, the podcast after WrestleMania is better than the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
That's not saying
Jesus
much.
Christ.
I also want to say, the segment in the video in which he talked about supporting Black women creators in wrestling and Black women wrestlers, period, absolutely spot on. If you are a content creator that is uplifting any wrestlers, man, woman, trans, LGBTQIA plus, all of the things, take the time to lift Black wrestlers and Black content creators in the wrestling community up, because they deserve to have just as many opportunities as anybody else. And honestly, a lot of them are very, very good. I fully endorse that.
Oh, absolutely. 1000%. Before we get to what happened in the main event, Riddle came back.
Yay!
I was honest. I was just like, I guess.
He looked good.
Yeah, but I guess we're one step closer to Bromos. Like that's the
That
only.
was literally the only thing I thought.
Hey, no, hold on, wait, hold on. So
I was
when
very upset.
let's talk about this real quick. When Brandon sent that video in the chat of like that of the game and all those Omos's, and somebody did a Bromos one, bro, people are catching on. People are catching on. So when Bromos becomes a thing, I want all the royalties. I want
will
my
fight
flowers.
I will fight against it. 100%.
Katie, let me tell you
Every single time.
Katie, let me tell you something.
Bromos will end racism.
Let me tell you, Katie, let me tell you something. There are things that I thought were stupid that I swore I would never like.
It's a hill I will die on.
No, Katie, I want you to listen to me. I was gonna die on the hill that the New Day is stupid. You just put some 3 black dudes together. What are we doing? Love the New Day now. Love them.
What?
That's how I felt back then.
What?
I was like, we just threw black dudes together. Like, what are we doing? Like, Vince, what's going on?
Hey, I was there the Raw after Mania 31. We were booing New Day out the building.
And now look at
I can't.
Katie, yes, you will.
I don't know if I can be your friends anymore. How could you?
I was 19 and stupid. Leave me alone. I was 19 and stupid. I didn't know what I was talking about.
Really?
God.
Dang.
I have experience in this now.
Anyway, I'm willing to die on this hill when it comes to Bromos.
Katie,
I do not like the idea.
Katie, you're gonna love Bromos. You're gonna buy merch.
No, I won't.
Listen,
I didn't buy RKO merch. If I didn't buy RK Bro merch, then I'm not gonna buy Bromos merch.
That wasn't really that good.
Just
Bromos is where it's at.
I will say right now on the WWE shop there is an Acknowledge Your Daddy t-shirt.
Oh,
acknowledge
him. But what was supposed to be the main event, and they really took it there. They did the introductions.
Well, they were about to do. They did the introductions for the most part, but
yes, and then Brock hit an F5 on Cody, and he started beating that ass. He suplexed him over the barricade. He put him through the table. He hit him with steps. He F5'd him on the steps. He had the security and everybody running. Brock was, and then to leave.
I think this officially makes Cody Rhodes black now that Brock Lesnar absolutely destroyed him after a championship match.
And then he comes back out and does the FU. Now look, Cody Rhodes is about to have the 2012 John Cena run. At WrestleMania in 2012, John Cena lost to The Rock, a member of the Anoa'i family. This year, Cody lost to Roman, member of the family. The night after WrestleMania that year, Brock beat up John Cena. Night after WrestleMania this year, Brock beat up Cody Rhodes. Now,
so I'm expecting a Cody Rhodes versus Adam Pearce match at Over the Limit.
No.
Yes, you said he's on the same trajectory.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean by this. You know what I mean by this. Now, John shouldn't have beat Brock at or at Extreme Rules, but that's neither here nor there. But Cody doesn't need to beat Brock whenever they're going to have their match. And apparently this has been thought of for a while now. I don't know. But yeah, there are similarities here, and I'm excited. I'm excited for Brock to beat this ass.
All I know is I need explanations for why this happened.
It's Brock Lesnar. He's probably pissed off that this guy was in the main event. This guy had to wrestle Omos, a great competitor, but still Omos.
People complaining about Cody getting his ass beat by Brock Lesnar needs to settle down because it's still Brock Lesnar, and he might not be exactly what he was 10 years ago, but it's still a pretty big deal to be in there with Brock Lesnar. And
100%.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say Cody Rhodes is gonna beat Brock Lesnar on his way back to beating Roman Reigns for the championship. So it's not, don't cry for Cody over this. He'll be fine.
I will say I was definitely shocked. Like, that was a very shocking way to end Raw. But quite frankly, I kind of felt overall that Raw was lackluster after Mania.
What do you mean?
It felt chaotic.
Yes.
The worst part was the KO Sammy thing. Like, this long ass story.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be like, we don't have a Cody celebration, so why don't we get a KO Sammy celebration? And we didn't really get that. We had like a few little segment.
Little things talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna fight. Like, we want to celebrate.
And then you have the Street Profits, and then you have the Street Profits come out there, who technically should be like number one contenders because they won the showcase match, but then it's a non-title match, and then they just lose. Like, why couldn't you just trot out some random heel team out there? Just have them, have Cody and Sammy go over strong and just be like, oh, look at them, they're on such a roll, we love them, yay.
Because that's not how booking works, brother.
But the returns weren't super crazy great.
Don't always need to be.
Come on, the Raw after Mania, you're expecting something big.
You people have been spoiled. That's what this is. I sat there in that building. I had a fantastic time. All right.
I'm sure it's different when you're there in person, but when you're watching it on TV, trust me, it's like, oh, okay, Riddle's back. I was hoping for Big E. No lie, I was waiting to see Big E.
He's not there. We're still waiting on the next scans.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he shows up on Friday. We don't know.
Maybe.
But it just it just really felt chaotic and kind of half-assed. And I know that there were a bunch of changes that were made last minute.
Where?
It felt haphazard.
What changes?
And we also got a number one contendership to the women's tag team title match between two teams who lost at WrestleMania, and the winner of the showcase match nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of get where Katie's coming from. Like, yeah, we didn't get Jay White or Zack Ryder or Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, any of those like debuts or returns. But even if you just look at the booking and how the show was going throughout, after like the Cody Roman segment, after that first 45 minutes, it kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
It was great. Guys, stop.
You were in the building. That's why it was great for you.
No, it would have been great if I was sitting at home.
Nah, people watching on TV were kind of like...
I will come back here next week and I will tell you how great Raw is from just sitting at home. Stop, guys.
Is there a coincidence that Philip is really putting over this Raw with the same time that apparently mustachioed Vince McMahon is back in power?
Brother, hey, look, hey, can we talk?
Right.
Hold on. We need to talk.
I sense a conspiracy.
We need to talk about this. How do you guys feel about mustache Vince McMahon? We really need to have.
I mean, we saw the fake photo with him and the footballer. It's pretty much the same thing. Like, the fake photo looked like the real photo.
The fake one was a little fuller. I mean,
I'm still kind of like, eh. It feels very like 70s porno.
I was gonna go. It seems very like 40s-ish. Like, he seems like he should be like in black and white, tying a damsel in distress up to a road, a train track or something.
That's more like 1890s,
20s. I don't know.
People are saying he looks like Walt Disney. Is this true?
No, he does not look like Walt Disney. I do not see that.
My guy really dyed the hair though. The brows too.
Mm.
Oh, I mean, shout out Vince. From one mustache to another, I must say, I need like a little comb. Yeah, like a little comb. Uh, I can't believe I shaved off my beard, guys. Can't believe I
See, I
did
don't
that.
got a good mustache like that, so if I were to grow it out, I mean, I think I showed you guys the photo, but I wouldn't.
I've
No,
I
it's
don't
I've
not
have
pretty
this
sight.
problem.
I've
Pretty
gotten
sight.
compliments on the mustache. I have. There are a couple people I've told to fuck off because they said I look like Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Some dude called me baby Keith Lee. I told him that his girlfriend's cheating on him. Uh, I've called a couple people jabronis because of the
Keith
remarks
Lee is
about the
a
mustache.
lovely looking fellow.
Love Keith Lee,
I
great guy,
agree.
great guy. We're gonna move on to AEW real quick. AEW, I guess All In is now a thing again. In the
Wait, no, I'm
UK,
going to get that confused because there's an all out and there's now an all in, and I
and
get
it's in
all.
August. Like he should have just called it All
There's
Out.
too many things with all in them.
All In should have just been what the Bucks and Cody did that one night in Chicago. So he's Wembley Stadium, and Nigel McGuinness is all elite.
Love that.
Yeah. So they're not gonna sell. Are they gonna sell this out?
I honestly don't know because this is the first time they're going to be in the UK, in Europe, outside of North America. What is the hype? The hype is going to be strong, but Wembley Stadium is a 90,000 capacity stadium. Even if you knock that down to like 80,000 with staging or whatever, they have to put on like a legit dream card like All In was. And I don't know what that looks like coming off the heels of Forbidden Door.
There was
And-
one match that you book. The Elite versus CMFTR. You do that. You do Kenny versus Punk. You want butts and seats. I'm sorry, but CM Punk has to be on that show. That's just the.
And they also don't have like a big UK connection, like
They
a big
don't.
UK star.
People
I
are.
know Drew McIntyre's contract is
Yeah.
possibly coming to end. Even
He's
if
not
they get
leaving.
him, I don't even see him as like that big of a draw to fill out that stadium.
Who's the biggest star they can get? What, Will Ospreay? Honestly, maybe they should just run the O2.
Oh, well, they've already announced it's Wembley. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you main event with Cody or not Cody? Will Ospreay and Kenny? Like, I don't like this would be a fantastic match, but then once again, I just don't know. It gets to that like threshold, and then like if MJF's a part of it, like MJF and Will Ospreay, like that could be fun, I guess, but I don't know.
Hell, where's Anthony Ogogo? Bring him back, make him a monster babyface, put him in the main event. Maybe they'll be able to get 30,000.
I think they can do north of 50. It's just that
Really,
50 to 90 range is what I'm questioning.
this is going to be something. They're going to have to put on a card like no other. And then FTR won the tag titles. They defeated the Guns. The Guns came out to many men.
My favorite entrance of the week. I thought that was just fantastic.
I randomly saw Austin Gunn over the weekend. That was just something. TK, worry about filling up Wembley. Stop paying for these songs, brother.
Hey, if the Ass
This
Boys
is
new theme song is Many Men,
This is why Vince was able to sell the company for $9.3 billion because he wasn't wasting money on songs for one night entrances.
We're gonna ignore Brood Edge.
What do you mean?
He came out of Slayer.
They already had that in the vault. That's okay.
Okay, right.
Yeah. I know these things.
What about all those Undertaker video packages that have Metallica attached to them?
It's a video package. It played over the course of multiple times. They used Many Men for one night.
And it was worth it. It was fantastic.
No.
I loved it.
No, bro. No.
It's it's not on the same caliber as Brian Robertson or Roberts, the Washington running back who got shot and then made his debut to Many Men. Like nothing's gonna top that, but it was close.
God, I think I'm upset because I was gonna use Many Men as my entrance theme. I think that's why I'm mad, guys.
I mean, if you want to be decked out in all white and I can be your camera guy and like pan around you as you sing the song,
You want to be a part of my entrance, bro?
we can do that. You can do the Eminem entrance, and I'll be one of your photographers.
Hey, if I ever have a big match, will you guys walk me out to the ring? Will you guys be like my entourage?
Sure.
Will you guys be like my fight camp? No? Okay.
I'll be like what's his face and Ready to Rumble with the big ass like red.
No,
suit
you
and
gotta be
top
like
hat.
I'm talking like when Cody like was walking to the ring at All In. Like I need you wanna be my Glacier or DDP, bro?
I mean, if you buy us Bullet Cats jumpsuits, I will rock them.
Bro, hey, don't say that. Don't say that. Okay. Oh wow, Katie don't even want to do it.
Katie's out here trying to
if you need a
get into
Brandon to
training
spray you
so
down with cold
she
spray,
can start being a valet manager, whatever. He's like,
Well,
nah.
we gotta get
No.
you.
you know,
we gotta
us
get
us Brandons, we know how to do the cold spray. We talk it over at the Citadel meetings.
You're right. You're right. Jay White is all elite now. Kind of a waste. I
Very
mean,
very underwhelming debut for him, I would say.
it's not even just that, bro. Because like we were there. That was the perfect goodbye. AEW still has ties to New Japan. He's basically still in the Bullet Club. He's gonna be at the Forbidden Door thing. He should have went to the other place.
Well, if you
tried-
listen to Under the Radar last time, not this past one, but a couple of times ago, I said that Jay White should go to WWE because I just felt he was a not better utilized, but I feel like WWE can get the most out of him and can use and need him more than AEW does.
He's just gonna get lost in the shuffle like everybody else, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't. I guess. I mean, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. When is this? April? I'll give it till July. I'll give it till July.
I think
Okay,
it'll be
no.
fine. I mean,
Okay,
Jay White as a top heel, whoever, if Eddie Kingston, because that's definitely gonna happen, beats MJF, and then Jay White beats Eddie Kingston, and then Jay White loses to Adam Cole at All In or All Out, whatever, next in 2024.
Baby.
I think that could be fantastic.
Baby.
But just right now, he's not in that position to be there. He will get there, I believe, because he's that talented. But just they introduced him in a opening match. No disrespect to Ricky Starks, but that's not like the top tier that he could be. Like he didn't debut and beat Cody's ass at the end of Raw.
Got you. I think that's gonna do it for us, guys. Oh, AEW All Access. I missed like the last 15 minutes. Go check that out. They got some drama going on. All the girls just talking about each other.
It's the Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello show apparently.
Hey, Katie's friends.
Yeah.
She's their personal photographer.
Friends of Oasis.
Yeah, you saw me at West Coast taking photos for people with.
Yes,
Sammy.
that did happen that weekend.
That was a thing that happened.
That was the thing that happened. Speaking of West Coast, they have a show coming up this weekend, guys. See how we do that?
It's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow or today when you're listening to this. Later BC than usual. We're sorry.
Or yesterday. Or a week ago.
A lot has happened. So West Coast Pro, home of the Killers, it is sold out. Only way to watch it is on IWTV. I mean this card. Come on, guys.
I will be cheering on Alpha Zoe.
Yes, you got let's
from home.
The Velocities versus the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Michael Oku. Jordan Oliver versus Brian Keith. Aja Kong versus Vert Vixen. West Coast Pro Women's Championship. Masha Slamovich defends against Miyu Yamashita. And then added was Brett the Threat versus JT Thorne. And then the Monster main event. Alan Angels and Kevin Blackwood with the West Coast Pro Heavyweight Champion Titus Alexander goes up against Vinny Massaro, Starboy Charlie, and the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu.
That is going to be a lit match.
Oh, come on.
Also, a fun fact. Before Vert Vixen was a wrestler, she was a cosplayer. And I knew her from cosplay.
Really?
Yeah. I think we met a couple times. We weren't BFFs, but met her a couple times. She's an acquaintance. Very, very nice lady.
Oh, you love to hear it. Also, this week in ACW, no excuses. You can go see Jordan Blue versus Christina Von Eerie. Christina's back in the States. Johnny Butabi defends the ACW title against Alpha Zoe. You got Devin Danger and Magnum AD going up against Diesel Power. Who else? What else we got on this show? I think that's all that's been announced. More to come from them, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a nice week of wrestling out here in the Bay. So go check that out. If you're not tired from WrestleMania, then go watch all these matches. Thank you guys so much. Regular episodes will be coming out or on the regular days of Thursday. Thank you guys so much. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe. Be safe and stay dangerous. Yes.
The Bullet Cast, fearless. The Bullet Cast, fearless. Elite podcasting, we on. The Bullet Cast now, fearless. The Bullet Cast now, fearless. Elite podcasting, no we on. Elite podcasting, no we on.